Joining us on the podcast for the first time tonight is a player you will all know best as the 2025 ITA All-American Women's Singles Champion. Of course, she also this summer picked up a title at the American Collegiate Player Wildcard Playoff, an All-American in her first season at Stanford. We'll see what she has in store for us for year number 2. It's Stanford sophomore Valerie Glozman joining us on the show. Valerie, first of all, welcome to the podcast. Congratulations, of course, on all of the success. How are you doing tonight?
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm doing well. I just finished classes, grabbed a quick dinner. Now here talking to you. So it's been a good day.
In the full routine of the college fall. That is good to hear. And again, I appreciate you taking the time tonight. And, I was fortunate to get the chance to chat with you after a couple of your victories in Cary. But a couple of weeks later, I'm curious, has it set in? You're an ITA All-American champion. What does that sort of start mean to you to kick off your sophomore campaign?
It's just a great feeling, especially knowing that I stuck to the game plan the whole time. And I feel like it's very encouraging for practices because, in general, when you're practicing for a while, it can start to get, and I guess feel a little bit monotonous and just like repetitive. And I think just it's important to always keep in mind your goals and kind of have purpose when you go out there and practice. And so sometimes when I'm feeling a little tired or maybe stressed with school or something, I just have to think about, okay, what are my goals and how can I make this a meaningful practice? And I think me doing well at All Americans this year kind of just gives me hope and just keeps me kind of locked in during my practices while here. And so that's been good for me. And so I feel like I'm practicing with a lot of purpose.
Mm-hmm. You were the preseason number 6 player in the country. You won the wild card playoff. So it's not as though you weren't having success and expecting success here this fall. But from what I see, I think you played only 4 pro matches this past summer. How difficult was it to shift back into match gear? What led to maybe a more relaxed summer schedule than others might have played?
Yeah, I feel I'm probably more on the relaxed end of things
Okay.
in general. I do enjoy competing, and I think tournament experience is super valuable, but it's always been tough for me to balance school and tennis. And obviously, over the summer, there's no school to worry about, but I did have a shoulder injury that I was dealing with. Still kind of dealing with it, but I kind of have it under control right now. But yeah, so that was a little tough. Obviously, I wanted to be as best prepared as possible. But I know when I found out about the wild card playoff, because I know I was kind of on edge there. I actually wasn't expecting to get it, but I was super excited. But that's right when we finished season and we just had finals coming up. So I remember being just super just school and friends, everything. And I think our whole team didn't practice for those 2 weeks. So when I got notified, I was like, oh my gosh, this is really cool, but also what am I gonna do? So I was very fortunate to have a lot of people come out and hit with me, either from my team, even from the men's team here. People off campus I got to hit with too, which was really awesome. It felt like everyone came together there. And so I was really happy to get that kind of training in. But honestly, since it was such a short time frame, only 2 weeks, leading up to the playoff, and then I hadn't been practicing or playing matches, I was I just got to be super purposeful here and get as much match play in as I can to simulate those matches, even though, yeah, it's not maybe the same pressure, but I think match play, to answer your question, is a big um, match prep preparation for me in general. And so going back home, I do a lot of match play with boys and stuff, and I feel like that's really helpful for going into real matches.
Yeah, evidently it's working. So a shout out to you for your game plan. You mentioned a shoulder injury. Were you still playing, hitting, doing fitness sessions throughout the course of the summer? What has the maintenance of that been like?
Yeah, it's tricky. I'm trying to figure it out even now, but it was kind of hurting towards the end of season, and then I took some time off, obviously, and then it was hurting even worse, when I came back to start playing, and so I was a little concerned. But the thing is, it's totally good on all my ground strokes and everything, but it's just serves and overheads that really bother it. So when I was practicing, I would honestly just like skip the serves, but that's not good for like real matches. And so I was trying to rest it that way, but then when I went back to serving, it had no improvement. So that's when I started getting into like PT and at the playoff actually, like there were obviously great trainers in USTA facility, so like they were really helping me there. But then I went home and like rested, thinking that that would help, and honestly, like it needs a lot of physical therapy to like rebuild some muscles in the back. So I just started doing a ton of PT and that helped, but it just hasn't fully gotten better. Right now it's like at least stable so I can play through it. But yeah, still trying to get it figured out. But yeah, it was kind of tough. I didn't want to overuse it, but it also seemed like when I stopped playing, it would be worse when I came back. So I was just like trying to figure out how many matches to play and like how much to torture and like what a good ratio was. Yeah.
Yeah. And it sounds like, again, you're happy with where that balance is now. And obviously looking at the level at an ITA All-American Championships where I believe you dropped just one set on your way to the title, things looked pretty good from my eyes. Was there a match in particular, looking back, you are proudest of from that run in Cary, one that stood out where you said, okay, this is where I played my best tennis?
Um, I don't know that it was my best tennis, but the Mao Mushika match, obviously, like I think, I mean, it could have really not gone my way there.
Yeah.
She's a great player, and I mean, a few things worked out for me at the right times in like during the match. I feel like I definitely could have started out more aggressive. I looked back and saw some of the points, and like while in the moment, I was like, oh, I was super courageous and everything. Like I was like, wow, she was actually dictating like most of the match. So I think even though I had the right like mindset, I don't think I quite I didn't go into the match like first strike as I would normally want to be. So I think there I did get a little bit lucky to scrape by. I'm not saying I didn't do like good things at times, but obviously like getting through that match was really important for me. And then also qualifying for NCAAs through that match. And then I think that gave me some confidence going into the later rounds and like encouraged me to like really step in from the start,
Yeah.
especially against those aggressive players.
No, because said with love, it was 5-love really fast. She
Yeah,
went
it
up and
really was.
yeah, so it's a credit to you. You were able to fight your way back. And, you talked to me throughout the tournament about you've been working on committing to moving forward and
Yeah.
imposing yourself more on court. It's a
Mhm.
very fundamental question, but it's one for anyone who watches your game. I'm sure they've thought. Where does the two hands on both wings come from? Like, obviously, you've been doing it for a while, but how did
Yeah.
that start in your game?
I think I just started very small, like
Okay.
physically. So it was hard. And I think I started originally maybe with like my dad's full-size racket or something. So it was just not easy to hold. And I think I just started with two hands. In fact, my sister, who's actually a lot bigger than me, she also started with two hands, but I think she was able to let go relatively fast. And for me, like I just held on. And I've been trying like especially earlier. I mean, right now I'm working still on like one-handed forehands, like especially for on the stretch. I don't think that I'm totally gonna convert, but when I was around maybe 11, I did go through like a month or two of like straight one-handed forehands. Like my dad is a huge fan of like one-handed shots in general, but and he's my main coach. So like I've tried to do it, but I just really like the shot. And at this point, like it's like a big weapon in my game. So it doesn't necessarily make sense to completely let go, but there are limitations like on the stretch, which is why I like to do maybe a like chip or just one-handed something on the stretch.
What's that practice session like with the one hand? Like, I'm just fascinated by
Oh,
it. It is something you're working on?
it is, yes. Like when I'm with my dad at home, like we'll just do feeds and I just really try to go after it with one hand. And honestly, like it feels pretty good and my technique is good. It like I don't have the same level of trust in it. And
Sure.
then like I get like scared on the higher ones. Like I don't know what to do with it. But like just like I feel like it looks pretty good. It wouldn't hold up in a real match, that's for sure.
Maybe not yet, but I look forward to seeing it at some point. That feels like a mid-March first 4 matches of ACC play. Like we'll see a few one-handed forehands from you. So
Maybe.
yeah, so I'll keep that in the back of my mind as we continue our coverage. But no, I mean that game style. It's so interesting, and what I really enjoyed throughout Cary. One of the highlights for me was getting to interview you and hear you talk about your own game. You talk about limitations. Do you think there are inherent advantages you have for playing the two hands off both wings?
It's a good question. I don't know exactly what it brings me. Maybe it could be a little bit more power, but I don't know. I think it's basically a lefty backhand.
Yeah.
So whatever advantages a backhand would bring to a player, maybe I have some of that, like maybe more stability on like higher shots. I'm just not totally sure. I wouldn't like recommend a two-handed forehand
Okay.
to anyone necessarily unless they really love it
Yeah.
themselves.
I think it's how you get outside the ball. I just feel like that because you have two hands off both wings, like it's just
Uh-huh.
all the options are always available. It feels like a little better, better disguised, certainly, because I'm just
Maybe.
always less certain about what it is you're going to hit, whether it be a chip, whether it be again.
Mhm.
You're playing some short angle chip and charges in the final in particular that were very, very fun to watch. And you've talked about committing to moving forward. What does that look like in practice? How do you develop that instinct?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just important to get yourself to do it in practice points because it's not the same as just like being at the net and drilling volleys and like even just working on transition game. Like it's tough until you actually do it in a real point and then you start to see like openings, like when can I approach? I mean, you kind of have to think like one shot ahead if you're going to come in. And the reason I really like focusing on coming in the match, not only that you can like score easy points and like kind of put a lot of pressure on them in that way, it's also like the fact that you start taking balls early and like you start just seeing more openings because you're always like looking for that short ball. And I feel like sometimes I can get stuck very far behind the baseline and then become like defensive, scampering behind the baseline. But if I am like thinking of coming in, even before I get to the net, I'm hitting like more penetrating shots and like stepping in and being more on the baseline. So I feel like just like having that mindset and then working on that in practice as well, like it keeps you like super mentally engaged. And then also like you set yourself up for opportunities to come in. So you kind of like make chances for yourself to get into the net. And then all you have to do is like finish with an easy volley.
Yeah. And saw that all American long, certainly in Cary, and saw that throughout your freshman season as well. And asking about your freshman season, I want to ask about you specifically, but I haven't had that chance to ask you about this yet.
Mhm.
There was a point on court, and I got a chance to call a lot of the matches where I believe you still had a player out, while you guys also had two players serving underhand on court
Oh,
during the
yes.
matches that you guys were playing, which led to really fun tennis to watch. Like, you're just not going to see that in every dual match. What was that like, being like, okay, I know I'm playing, Connie's playing, Caroline's probably playing, and I don't
Yeah.
know what the rest is going to look like? Well, what was that balance like for you all?
Um, it was tough because we did go into like, I mean, pretty much any time we were gonna play against like a top competitor, top team, we had no idea what was gonna happen because, like, I mean, the thing is, we would usually get like 2 or 3 points on the board, like most of the matches, but then it was always kind of like that doubles decider, I feel, and we could have been a lot stronger in doubles, like me included. And so that was always like up in the air, like were we gonna get that doubles point? Because it usually honestly did get to like 3-all or could have been 3-all in like most of our matches. Like doesn't even matter the opponent. So I don't know. It was just a lot of uncertainty. I felt bad for like teammates who were like pushing through injuries, like Valencia serving underhand. I think we didn't know how successful we were going to be last year, but our whole team was working super hard and like everyone was super positive and motivated to do well. And I feel like that contributed to at least our NCAA success. Like we knocked out, I think, Texas Tech, like the seeded team, which was like big for us. And yeah, I mean, it was tough. Like, it's tough to know how, like, I feel like this year we have a lot more depth and like if everyone is not injured or anything, like I feel good about our chances in general. But last year we definitely had to rely on like everyone just being super tight knit and like working well together and supporting each other. And I mean, we got through a few like very close matches like that. I know Sasha like saved match points against Miami at ACCs. It was a crazy first round, and I feel like that brought all of us together. And then again, our Texas Tech win was really big for us. But Yeah, it's just tough because like all the teams are tough, and then we have these injuries we're facing. So
6-4-3 matches has to be good for the heart rate. And
yeah,
certainly,
exactly.
yeah, a lot of that. And, again, what ifs are the best part about sports. So I
Yeah.
do feel like if the season was 1 month longer, like it's a
Hmm.
different story for your team. Like, did you guys
Yeah,
feel,
it's
because
tough.
again, that Oklahoma State match was awesome as well,
Yeah.
and that Texas Tech match, that was the best match I saw you guys play all year. Like, was there some heartbreak at the end, knowing, like, again, had we had one more month, because it felt like by the end things were
Yeah.
clicking.
I mean, that's exactly what like Frankie was saying when we
Hmm.
got back, like saying like, "Oh, I'm very proud of all of you guys for like fighting so hard and like if we just had a little more time, like I really think we're in this." And I think it's true, like even with our injuries, even with the players who like left to go pro, um like everyone has a super great work ethic and there's some good talent on the team still. So it's like we definitely did have chances and everything is so close all the time that it comes down to those like deciding moments. And like Sasha, for example, did a great job just coming back from her shoulder recovery and like everything. And she like had great fight, but I mean, you just can't suddenly like when you don't have all these matches under your belt for the entire season, you can't like go cold turkey into it very easily. So she did the best she could, and like we were all super proud of her, but it's just tough. Yeah, and it was like a bit of a sad ending, like for all of us, especially because like we also lost that doubles point, I think. And so like just thinking about how it came to that like doubles decider once again, like we lost a few tough ones to the double decider.
Yeah. No, it was a really fun season for your group. And obviously, you got the chance to play with a former NCAA singles finalist, your senior last year,
Yeah.
Connie Ma. And, no disrespect to anyone else on the team, but it was just like for you guys, there was a point in the season where if you guys were going to win, it had to come through you and Connie. And you guys combined to go 20-0 at the number 2 singles spot last year. Obviously, really good at one as well. You got to play doubles with her also. Give me a Connie Moss story. Like, I know watching Connie over the years how much her teammates loved her. What was it like to get to play doubles day in, day out?
Oh, it was so much fun. I mean, I feel like we were always like having some kind of time on the court. We're always laughing at something. We're honestly like super unserious around each other. So sometimes you're like, okay, it's we gotta focus a little bit. But yeah, no, it's always like a blast being on the court with her, and she's super talented and like pulls out some cool tricks. I know one of the matches she like whipped out a tweener. I mean, probably multiple of them, but like it was like a crazy point, like important point too. And I was like, okay, like this is my partner. So yeah, no, it's a lot of fun, and we were like best friends off the court as well. So I mean, it was an honor to share the court and just like kind of learn from each other and work well together. But yeah, no, it was great. It was so much fun.
She always did have that edge of mischievousness in the best
Yeah.
way. Like, I felt like she was always one comment away from pulling a prank on you. And
Yeah,
so,
she
yeah,
does.
and so again, to see all the success as well you all had was so exciting. And, again, to cap your freshman year as you did, winning that USTA Collegiate Wildcard Playoff and having the opportunity to compete in the U.S. Open. What did that mean to you? What did you think, by the way, of that wild card playoff? Did you like the event? I mean, I'm sure you like it when you win it, but like, is it a fun event?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I did enjoy it. Give me like
Yeah.
a second chance to get to go to New York, but I mean, it's a cool concept. I guess it gives a few more opportunities than just like one tournament at the start of the year. Um, I I think it's interesting how they make the selections though. Sometimes like I don't know exactly how it works, but I felt fortunate to be a part of that. Um, yeah, I mean, I think it was nice that I was able to be super focused in the weeks leading up to that. And like, even though I wasn't playing tournaments and even though we had like finals here, like I just felt good about being able to like step up my level when I needed to again. And like that gave me again a lot of confidence. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting event. I wonder if they're going to make any changes in the future. Like I know it's new this year, so.
Yeah. No, I thought year one was a success. Obviously, its relationship to the NCAA individual championships in the fall is the interesting piece, of course, to be examined moving forward. I mean, what if you've? It's it's interesting to ask you because you've only known the fall experience. You never played in
Yeah.
NCAAs in the spring, but
Mhm.
to we talked about this in the moment, but just to get that qualifying off your belt here so early in the fall,
Yeah.
how relieving is that? What is your view towards fall college tennis play?
I mean, again, all I've ever known is the fall stuff, but yeah, I mean, it feels okay. I mean, it's a nice like weight off my shoulders to qual
Yeah.
because I do really want to play NCAAs and I want to do well at NCAAs. So, like, I knew I had to qualify in some way or another. So to get that out of the way early on and then free me up for like if I want to play a pro tournament or if there's another like invitational that's interesting to play, like I don't have to do it out of necessity, but I can like focus more on my goals and not like feel so much pressure to get into NCAAs. So that's really nice. But yeah, like I don't know. I only know the normal fall schedule. I know a lot of people they tend to like, oh, once I qualify for NCAAs, like I'm done with college events. Like I'm playing all pro. Like I don't know that that's my mindset because I don't really even know what pro events take place in the fall and it's tricky to go with school and everything. I'm just not super experienced. But yeah, all the fall tournaments I played have been fun. Like last year, regionals was fun. We're taking off to regionals tomorrow. Um, where I'm just playing doubles. I'm probably going to conserve my shoulder a little bit,
Does
but
that
yeah,
mean
no,
more underhand serves?
maybe I can whip that up.
Now, who are you playing doubles with?
I'm with Monica for this one.
Is that
Yeah.
qualifying for the doubles championship something you want? Like that will be. Let's say you don't get it at regionals, you keep playing to try and get into that event too.
I think that's the goal for our team,
Okay.
yeah, to get us into doubles however we can. So, I mean, it's also just good for going into season, just seeing
Sure.
who works well together, and then just knowing that the doubles point is so important. Just trying to see like what pairings is the best, and also give us some just matches under our belt before we go straight into season.
Yeah, and obviously, again, so far so good for you all in the fall. We saw the success for some of those freshmen in Cary.
Yeah.
It's very early, I know, in the fall. Does it feel different year one versus year two, especially losing the seniors that you all
Mhm.
did, and you had another fifth year, of course, on the
Yeah.
roster as well? Just how different has this first month of practice felt?
Um, yeah, it feels different. I think just like environment and culture, just because we have such a young team now that like I'm like one of the older ones on the team in terms
Yeah.
of like how long I've been there at least. And so I feel like we're all pretty fresh and like I think we're experimenting a lot more this year than we did last year. And last year we had a lot more like set routines and like our seniors kind of like knowing how to lead and they did a great job of that. And then this year, since everyone is kind of like on the same level a bit, we're like experimenting with different drills to see what works for people, different practice times, even like last year we tried to get like same consistent practice time across like all three quarters and here we're experimenting like people can take classes this time and this time and we're like moving it around. So I think it's just a lot of like seeing what will work for this team and kind of like adjusting as needed. So maybe that's the vibe shift a little bit, but I think everyone is always like everyone who comes to Stanford is just super invested and like self-motivated. So I feel like we never have to like put our foot down and be like, oh, like you have to be here this time. Like we can really work together because everyone wants to be there all the time. And so that's a good culture.
That sounds good to me. How have they finished the outdoor courts, the new outdoor stadium?
Not yet. I think
Okay.
it's set to be done in January-ish, but I doubt it because they typically end up pushing it back. I think our indoor facility was supposed to be done like a few months earlier and we kept waiting and waiting. But I'm excited. I think we're gonna do like a blueprint party soon, Frankie was saying, to like show us what it's all gonna look like. We have no idea yet.
How was the travel last year? Like, how many times were you on that 6 hour flight coast to coast?
Too many, too many. I think we were like on the road probably every other week. I
Yeah.
want to say like it was crazy. I think I missed over 50% of my classes. It was a tough spring for sure, but I mean it was a lot of fun getting to spend time with my team, but I mean the flights are brutal and you have to leave like on a Tuesday or Wednesday for like a Friday, Saturday
Sure.
match, which is like it's just so much time wasted and like then you have to adjust to the time zone, then we have to come back and get readjusted and it's like I feel like half the week is already gone just because of the travel.
Yeah, no, I can't even imagine. How good at you are you at sifting through an online lecture?
We don't even provide a lot of them. So I'm just like out of luck when I'm on the road most of the time. I have to like reach out for notes and negotiate with my professors and get on like office hours and be like I have no idea when I'll have time, but if you have 30 minutes like now, I can
Yeah.
talk to you and it's just like it's a little tough.
No, this is where you have Connie do a dramatic rendition of the chapter, and you're just like, give me something
Exactly.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
sometimes Connie would help me with my homework. That is true.
no, it's the fun part of the team life, certainly. And yeah, I mean, again, as you guys get ready for year number two, certainly you've got a ton of talent on the roster. Have there already been discussions like, hey, here are the goals, here are the things we want to accomplish? What are your hopes for this Stanford group in 2025?
I think everyone's pretty optimistic. We know we have a pretty deep team and everyone works hard, like I've been saying. I think the goal is to win a national title. Like I think that's always the goal. It's been a little bit maybe tougher the last few years, but I think we like could have a good chance. I think we're in the running at least and it's interesting to kind of see how it plays out when the season starts because you never know like how things go, but it seems like from the outside and like from practices and everything, like I think we have a good chance of doing pretty well. So I'm excited. This is the first time we're going, I think we're not hosting kickoff weekend. So that'll be interesting because we're gonna have to play like a pretty tough team, I think Oklahoma. So interesting to see how that'll work. But yeah, I think I'm pretty optimistic for this year.
Yeah, I love to hear that. Was the plan for you always 4 years of college? And is that still the plan? Was it how was Stanford the choice?
Yeah, I mean, I played a Zimmerman Johnson like level two tournament here. I remember when I was like 11 and I was like, wow, I love this campus. Like maybe I'll be here one day. And I was super excited. And then I went into recruiting, honestly, had no idea because so many like schools were obviously like pitching themselves pretty well. And it was tough. Everyone was super nice and like so many good opportunities, but Stanford always stood out to me as like close to home, but not too far, and great school, great team, like historically has been amazing. So, honestly, I just felt like the right choice for me, and I've been super happy with my decision. So yeah, Stanford's been a dream for me for a while, so I'm happy to be here. And then for the 4 years you were talking about, yes, that's always been the plan. Growing up, I we like my family doesn't really know much about pros or
Okay.
anything. So like that just wasn't something that we knew. So like I didn't necessarily want to do that because like I had no idea how attainable it would be. And I
Sure.
still don't necessarily know, but I know how like popular it is actually to go pro and it's not so much of a foreign concept. So, I mean, I really enjoy playing and would love to be out there more. So, I kind of think I'll just have to see how it goes. I don't know that I'm completely ready. I think there's like a lot of things that I can continue to work on before I feel like I'm ready. But yeah, we'll just see how it goes. I play it year by year and match by match.
Yeah, I think that's completely fair. If we do this podcast a year from now, and congratulations to you on winning the 26 All-American Championships if we do, do you think you'll have played more pro tennis between now and then than you did between, say, the end of your first freshman season and this fall?
I mean, I always say I'm going to each year. I'm
Okay.
like, this is my year to play. I said I was going to play a ton in the fall, but
Mhm.
it always proves to be kind of tough to get in there. And then now it's like the shoulder holding me back a little bit. I thought I was going to play a lot over summer. But I think it's just because like I don't know which ones to play. There's so many options and like I just don't know the pro circuit very well. So since it's so new to me, I'm just like, like maybe I'll figure it out like if it falls into my lap, I guess. But I think I do want to play tournaments. I think any match like pro or not, I feel like you end up playing similar people anyway. Like
Mhm.
I know a lot of the all-American players actually like came to I think it was San Rafael maybe like
Mhm.
close by here like they were all on our flight so I was like well it's basically like another all-American here But I think the matches are always good, pro or not. Like I need to definitely have a lot more match play. It's really important for me, and my success. So yeah, I mean, if I can get into some tournaments, I don't know. I don't really know when, and I don't know what the schedule is. I want to say I will have played more before next year, but I just never know.
We'll make that a Frankie problem. He can
Yeah,
figure out with
yeah.
that schedule. Looks like you got
Yeah.
other things to worry about. Well, my last question, I know you've alluded to some of them here, but just goals for yourself as you get ready
Mhm.
to head off into your sophomore season. What do you hope to accomplish in year two on the job?
Yeah, I mean, any tournament I play, I do want to win it, obviously, but to do that, I think, yeah, sticking to my guns and like, I just being as assertive as I can on the court, making sure I'm dictating, whatever that might mean on the day. But I think coming to the net is a big thing for me, and I have mentioned it a ton, but it's something that I need to continue to work on, and the way to work on it is to get in there, and I think there's not that many downsides of coming to the net for me because, like I said, when I have that mindset, I'm taking things earlier and already like dictating a bit more, and then like the volley is just the cherry on top, easier way to finish a point than like scrapping. So, yeah, that's a big thing for me. I'm always working on the serve. It's been tough with the shoulder. I want it to be a little bit more of a weapon, but I feel like I've been using the slice on the serve a little bit better, to set me up, and it's not so taxing on the shoulder. So, yeah, I mean, those are the biggest goals. I think dictating in whatever way I can. I can always work on little things like footwork and all of that, but the big goal is to dictate.
Yeah, I love it. Well, obviously, we saw it's working out so far here in your second season. 2025 ITA All American Women's Singles Champion and All American already. Valerie Glozman, great to have you on the show. Thank you so much for taking the
Thank
time
you.
to chat, and obviously, good luck to you here throughout your sophomore season.
Thank you.